What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you our garage gym. It's a nice day. We got the garage door open, and sorry for the lack of content because lately everyone got sick and we've had nobody to spar because of that, and with all the mandates with different states with the pandemic, things have been a lot harder. But today I'm going to show you a tour of our lovely gym. So starting off with the first item we have, this is our full rack that we have. We have a bag hooked onto it at the moment. Don't worry about the sandbags. Those are to fill up this bag right here later, which I have it filled up with a little bit of clothing, and there's a sandbag at the bottom, but I have just not had the opportunity to fill it, and I got the sandbags hoping that I could fill it this weekend, so maybe I'll get that hung up soon. Moving on to our second piece of equipment. There's a lot of equipment here, by the way, if you haven't noticed already. We have plenty, but we have some battle ropes and the UFC bag, like I said. But I do want to mention that everything in this garage was either bought used or I found at a discount price somewhere. So what we have over here is I have the punching bag stand with the speed bag attached to it, and some title boxing striking sticks, which I also have some UFC brands of these. But what you do, for the people that don't know, you put them on and you hit your opponent and they strike it. And they're supposed to strike the little symbols up here. And the UFC has a little UFC logo that goes there. But you just work with somebody. That's pretty much it. I mean, striking sticks, right? Maybe we can get a demonstration in the near future of this with some of our younger athletes here. Next, what we have here is Contender Series pads. You've seen Mike Tyson use these. You've seen a lot of people use these before. Walk around with it, hold mitts with it too. Body shield. Strike, kick, do whatever you feel is necessary. Now this bad boy back here in the corner, I'll explain why it's there in a second, but this is one of my favorite pieces of equipment because you have so many places to strike, and it's numbered 1 through 10. And as you can see there, it's for uppercuts, strikes, counters, anything you can do with it. It's pretty much the equivalent to a punching bag stand, but it's got all the arms on it. The only reason that it's back here and that we currently are not using it is because this part right here does not shift up and down. It is currently stuck in place where it is. This one moves perfectly fine. That goes up and down. But this particular piece right here, I bought this used. Whatever the guy did to it, it's just completely stuck. We've tried prying out the pieces. We've taken this entire thing off, but this piece will not move. So if you guys have any recommendations on, I guess, where I could get a part or what I could do, let me know. I'm all ears. All this equipment that I have back here, I love it. It's so helpful. I mean, having a home gym and all the equipment is not necessary, but when you don't have people that know martial arts that you train with, and they don't particularly know what to do, some of your equipment becomes useless because they don't know how to work it properly. But it's nice if somebody's scared to spar with you, then this equipment's nice to just have them put on. They'll work with you, but you gotta convince them to put it on first. And I'm sure you guys know my dummy here. This is Fabouk, your favorite. This thing has been a huge help, especially with the jiu-jitsu training. This thing is awesome. This is the adult version. There's a kid version as well. Now, if you buy this, keep in mind that you have to stuff this entire thing yourself. You only get the shell. You have to stuff the hands, you gotta stuff the arms, you gotta stuff the legs, the body, the head. Now, what I did was I looked up some tutorials on how to stuff it, and people would make a DIY skeleton inside of this thing with like either PVC pipe or flexible plumbing piping to make it bend. So in this arm, there's actually piping in here surrounded by, I used a pool noodle on the outside of the piping to make it like feel like muscle, so it actually is more human-like. But if I bend this, it actually goes back to where it was. So it actually has a skeleton and muscle. But the thing is, you can also feel it. When you try to do a move on it, you can feel the pipe. So you know, like with a real person, their arm's not just gonna bend and twist and dislocate. You can actually feel it to the point where you know that you'd be doing damage. And I think it's really cool. But this thing has been a huge help, especially for MMA practice, jiu-jitsu, anything really. Being able to work alone without a partner and not having anything to work with. I've seen people put shirts on chairs, but if you have the money, this thing is super cool, really nice to use. You can practice all your moves on it, and I find it to be incredibly helpful. Now over here, this is just a punching bag, and this was actually, my cousin gave this to me, so thank you if you're watching this. But I struggled to find a punching bag that was the correct height, because with the UFC punching bag that I showed you guys earlier in this video, it's the length on top where the rope is supposed to be, or the chains, whatever kind of bag you have, they were just too long. So when I would punch straight on, my punch would be at the top of the bag, hitting the like chains. So it just wasn't ideal, and I struggled to find a bag that would actually work, that was the correct height. And it just so happened that this one had chains that's fit the correct height. So now it's actually correct. I can punch straight on to the middle of the bag, and I can actually do my work on it now. Here we have the aversion table, and if you guys don't know what this does, or you've never seen it before, all you do is get in it and you go upside down, and it decompresses the spine by relieving all the pressure that you get from walking. I will demonstrate it here in a second because I actually love this thing. I think it's super cool. So over here, if you guys didn't see this yet, we have what is a weight tree. However, what I did, so that's actually a furniture cart at the bottom here, and it's on wheels. And if you ever used a furniture cart, they actually are super easy to move around all this stuff. So these are our rubber bumper plates, which can be used on concrete. And of course, you don't want your plates slamming against the ground, especially if they're not the rubber plates. They can cause damage to your equipment and the ground. So I got this as a birthday gift, the rubber weights, and I put them on this weight tree and on this cart so I can move them around the garage a lot easier. And that way I can actually take it outside if it's a nice day, and I can do it in the yard, or I can do it on the side of the driveway. It's really nice, it's helpful. And we have the bar here with the, I'm blanking on the name here, but this is the shoulder protector, like and it's Rehut brand, but it's the foam material that helps you if your shoulders hurt from holding the bar. But I don't have a problem with that. I use it for the exercise hip thrusts, which hip thrusts just cause a lot of pain, and especially if you're doing heavy weight, it's hard to do heavy weight with it. But other than that, it works pretty well. I like it so far. And we have, of course, our Titan Fitness 20-pound medicine ball. Now I put tape around it because it was starting to split, which slightly disappointed with the material that they used because it fell apart way too quick. This is our half rack with our bench here, and this was also a part of my birthday gift, and this was pretty much all I asked for, by the way, if you guys haven't figured that out yet. But I've had it for several years, all throughout my high school years, and it's been great to work at home and be able to do this. But we have another bar. I've got the bumper plates on this just because we use the other plates for different exercises here. But it came with one of the longer racks. So I like to use this as the safety rail and or doing it for like military press and my squats. That way I don't have to go all the way up against the wall. And as you can see, we got the mirrors behind me. Hey guys. But yeah, relatively, I got everything weight-wise. So this and the rubber weights and the bars and stuff at Dick's brand new. They had pretty much everything you could ask for, of course, but they're definitely more expensive. But I feel like anywhere you go, especially with home gyms becoming more popular, they're gonna be everywhere. So now here's where we get to the more messier side of the garage. Over here on this side, we have another weight tree. It's our second weight tree, and this is where we put all the metal weights. We have our stand here, the Platinum Marseille. I can't pronounce that, who knows, it's old. Got that used for like 70 bucks, all the weights, all the attachments. And over here, we have our dumbbell rack, and currently we don't have too many dumbbells, but we use it to store dumbbell parts, our dumbbells, and any equipment that we're not using, like the belt here and anything. And we also just store our other extra weights, our curl bars, our other barbells, and a lot of this stuff is older, but it'll just stick right there, and we use it for exercises whenever we feel. Don't mind the messiness of the rest of the garage. We're hoping that all this stuff can be cleared out in the near future, because this is all my brother's storage, clothing, things that probably shouldn't be here anymore. But as you can see, there's a ton of it. But then over here, we have our tower. And we also have a 75-pound weight vest. I use that all the time. That's really nice. Now, like I said, all this equipment is not necessary. However, it is nice to have, especially when you're building a garage gym. But, I mean, I personally find this as a hobby, and it's what I love to do. And I love fitness, nutrition, all of it, martial arts. It's what I want to do, and it's what I want to grow as. And I'm hoping that my ultimate goal is to be a professional fighter, which I'm working on, but because of the certain sickness going around, that has not been a very good career path at the moment, because nothing is open. But having all this stuff definitely helps, not having to go to a gym, not having to pay a fee, and I also keep it forever, and it's mine. So definitely not necessary. I think I have an addiction, but that's okay. Then over here in the corner, those are our wrestling mats. We have the two of them. It is a 10x10 wrestling mat. Bought it on a website for only about like $450. It was a great deal. It is, the thickness is USA standard for slams for wrestling, which I believe is 1 1/4 inches thick, if I'm not mistaken. But of course there's more junk here. So all that will need to be cleared by the summer. And we will have sparring events that will be held in the garage here. And we'll put the mats down. Of course, we'll clear the weights. For all you guys that said that it's dangerous to have the weights around when we're sparring, and yes, that's technically true, but there's enough of us here that nothing's gonna happen. And, oh, we're gonna get CTE. Yeah, sure, okay, bud. Back here behind the tower, this is all of my personal to-go martial arts equipment that I'll take to the gyms with me or when I spar. It's got my headgear, my gloves, everything I need. And then in these two tubs, we have all of the extra sparring gear, any boxing equipment I have, timers, rags, anything that we would need. And if you guys want to see how some of this stuff works or some combinations and things you could do, I have a shield here and I've got the Muay Thai pads, which these things are awesome if you haven't used them yet, so highly recommend. But let me know. Guys, that was the tour for our garage gym. If you guys want to see more, let me know. Let me know what you guys want to see. Do you want to see how some of the equipment works? Do you want to see more of the boxing equipment? What all kinds of equipment I have? Let me know. And I would like to do a video showing all the equipment I have, where I got it, and what you guys can do to get it, and how you could get started in maybe martial arts, boxing, sparring, anything. More details in a future video, and we will get that set up. But do you guys like the gym? What could we do? What do we need? And ignore the mess, because of course it's summer. We need to do summer cleaning, and we need to clean out the garage, and hopefully it'll be looking better in the near future. And for those of you who are new, check out our Teespring and our designs for exercise, fitness, and martial arts down in the description below. We have t-shirts to coffee mugs to socks, anything you could possibly need, pillows, blankets, whatever it is. Link in the description. We also have the equipment that I bought with the boxing materials and from all the various brands that we have of sparring equipment. Let me know what you guys think.